Good morning, everybody. Jen is out today, and so I am filling in, so I hope I can fill her shoes. And I am here today with a special guest. This is Matlin, and he is promoting an event that's coming up at Rio Grande that I'm actually pretty excited to talk about. It's the Emancipation Proclamation Celebration. 3 really long words. But first, we're going to have a word from our sponsors, and then we will be right back with Matlin.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
And we're back. I just found out about this amazing event that's coming up in Rio Grande, and as my guest Matlin described it, he says it's one of the best kept secrets of the area. So I am really excited to be able to share this so that it's not so much a secret anymore. So why don't you tell us about your event?
Our event is Gallia County Emancipation Celebration, and it has been going on for 162 years in Gallia County. It is the longest running celebration of the Emancipation Proclamation, which Abraham Lincoln signed ever since 1863. And we're very proud of that, to keep that legacy going. We have partnered with the University of Rio Grande the last 3 years to hold this event on their grounds. And it is very, very, if you love history, love good food, love entertainment, it is a very place for that third weekend of September of every year.
I think it's amazing that it's been going on for 162 years. I figured, you would tell me that this was like the 50th annual or something like that, but you were actually telling me before the show that this event, in one form or another, has been going on since the Emancipation Proclamation was actually signed by Abraham Lincoln 162 years ago. So this is the longest running celebration of the Emancipation Proclamation in the United States, and it's right in our backyard.
Yes, right in our backyard.
I just think that is just the coolest thing. And you guys all know I'm like this history nerd. I will totally go to every museum and stuff, and that is it's really cool. So you were telling me about some of the events that are going on, that there's going to be a debate and some other stuff, a mobile museum. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, this year we have Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass debate. Also, we have Rise Above, the CAF Rise Above traveling exhibit coming out of Dallas, Texas. It is a mobile museum that we can experience of the Tuskegee Airmen and their journey of life in that air squadron that they done. Also, we have good entertainment. We have some bands coming out of Portsmouth, Ohio. And also we have great food, a lot of food trucks. CJ's Fish and Chicken from Portsmouth, Miss Rachel's Catering. We have several food trucks, barbecue also. It is a fun-filled weekend. We have things for our children, youth, bouncy houses, games. We have also partnered with local athletic groups as soccer and teaching kids how to play soccer and different things of that nature, football, flag football, and different things that weekend. Like I said, it is a fun-filled weekend, a lot of things going on. Come out and support the longest running celebration in the United States. We're sitting on history, and I'm standing on the shoulders of those who have put this celebration down through the years to keep it running. So we have a great time, great history facts. We have John G. Historical Center. They will be there with their facts of the Underground Railroad and how it came up through Gallia County and Ohio. So they'll be giving their display also.
I was pretty excited about, you were talking about the mobile museum for the Tuskegee Airmen, and I know that we're getting into a time period where we're losing some of that history, the living history of people that are passing, by age, and then also losing some of our history through museums and such. So I think it's really important that there is an exhibit that's dedicated to them. And I mean, how impressive is it that this is an exhibit that's coming all the way from Texas to little old Gallia County, Ohio, to be part of it. I mean, it's got to be pretty powerful.
Yes, when we was in contact with them, they usually do air shows, and I believe this is their first actual event like this, and they're really excited to come and explore all that we have here in Gallia County, especially this longest running celebration. And one of the things that as I became president, this is my third year, I believe, is to expand this, that it no longer be a best kept secret in Gallia County, that we expand it to all the United States. And so we have partner with different people to get the word out that the Emancipation is the longest running celebration, 162 years and going strong.
Well, if somebody is coming to the area, I mean, it's a pretty impressive weekend lineup if you're coming to the area, because you've got the Apple Festival going on with the Ohio State Band coming to the parade. So you can come and watch them in the parade at night. But before that, you've got not just your celebration, but you also have Mothman. So you can make an entire weekend out of it, from Jackson all the way down to Point Pleasant. You could spend a day at the Emancipation Celebration. You can visit the Apple Festival that goes deep into the night with rides and games and food, and probably one of the most impressive parades in the area. And then you can go down to Mothman the following day. I mean, you can make it like the ultimate Southern Ohio experience. I mean, really, you really can. And this area is so filled with history. We were talking before about when I moved here, I did not realize this, but this was a channel of the Underground Railroad, and there were multiple stops, and so many people in this region that were instrumental in moving people from the south to the north to safety. So chills.
It's very exciting that when we explore history and how it has come full circle and we understand it now. Also, we will have quilts.
Oh, wow.
That explain different codes that they've done and the designs on the quilts and the safe places. One of the things that I've learned here this year is that if one of the slaves came to a place that they didn't feel safe, there were black-eyed peas would be scattered.
Oh,
there.
okay.
And what the black-eyed pea was is that the eye would be watchful, and that meant be watchful that you couldn't be there. So they knew that if they saw a bunch of black-eyed peas laying around, that they couldn't be there. They had to keep going on.
I haven't heard that before. Wow. I'm a big fan of folk art. When I go to museums, that's one of the first stops, art museums. One of my first stops is in folk art. I think it tells a lot about the history of our people, basically, and of the region and of the time period. And I know that folk art was a huge part of that time period of the 1860s, especially for slaves, in taking the scraps that were left over from making clothing or making housewares and turning them into amazing pieces of art. I mean, that we gratefully have stood the test of time, have been able to be protected, and so that they can be shared with future generations. Quilts and wall hangings and even clothing pieces. Yes. That, like you said, there were signs that were built into what they were wearing and what they were using around them, and how much that was a part of their environment and of their life, and how that then got passed down from generation to generation. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and the thing about it is that during that time it didn't lose its worth. It was passed on and down in truth. One thing that has been taught to me is that the truth will stand forever.
And we have to share.
You got to share.
History repeats itself because we didn't listen to it the first time.
Amen.
Or the second time sometimes. But the pieces, since we've lost the people, I mean, obviously it's been, 162 years, plus, probably close to 200 years and beyond, because slavery dates back to the founding of our country. But that these pieces have been able to stand the test of time, especially for people that may or may not have been able to write down their histories because they didn't have either the tools to be able to write or were not learned in how to tell their stories. A lot of their stories were told through song and art and passed down and passed down through the generations. So I think that we are very grateful that people understood the value of these art pieces and valued them as art and not just as the blanket that great grandma made and it's thrown over the couch. That these are actually preserved in museums and in schools and are studied so that we can continue to pass on these stories and these and the history, the generational history.
These artifacts, you'll see a lot of them there in our arts and crafts building that we have at the University of Rio Grande. And I am an art collector myself of these facts. Being from Greenwood, Mississippi, that's where my family comes from. So I have a rich history down in what Mississippi and how that portrayed through my life of my grandma telling me stories. And so that weekend you will see a bunch of exhibits and different things of artifacts back in that time and the story that has been told behind them. It is amazing just to gain all that knowledge of American history, which is what I call it.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it very much is. It's not just part of our nation's history. It's very much a part of our region's history as well. Just being right in the middle. I mean, seriously, just kind of right in the middle of everything that was going on, and yeah. I mean, it's an incredible opportunity if you don't know a lot about the region and its role in the battles of the 1860s. I mean, we're obviously not in a hotbed of Civil War battle sites and things like that. They're a little bit further to the east. But that doesn't mean we weren't part of that process of how we evolved as a nation. So gratefully, how we evolved as a nation. You were also telling me that there's going to be some troops there.
Yes.
Doing some demonstrations.
The UTC colored troops will be there. They'll be doing actually a skit from there. Also, we will have speakers. Our speaker for Sunday will be Dr. Mathis, a pediatrician at Hoser Hospital, and he is from New York. That has come down here for the last 3 or 4 years, and he is a great pediatrician in the area. Also, we will have another speaker for Saturday will be Deacon Glenn Miller. He is part of the Lambert Lands, a great story there about his family and his history of the Lambert Lands. It is an Ohio monument marker.
Okay.
So I don't want to steal his thunder of telling
Where is it located?
It is located in Gallia County, right there at the Vinton County line, Gallia County line.
Okay.
Right there, out on Bethel Church, Bethel Church. So I don't want to steal his thunder of telling that, but it is a great story of how they came from Virginia to lowly old Gallia County as that. Also, we will have scholarships. Our scholarship program committee has 4 wonderful recipients to receive our scholarship, and we want to give Arthur Clark, a great friend of mine that lives in Michigan right now. He has donated over $125,000 to our scholarship committee down through the years. He always wants to give back. He said he was poured into so much during his elementary, junior high, and high school years that he wants to give back. And he has been giving back the last 25 plus years that I know of. So we, like I said, have a fun-filled weekend. The traveling exhibit, this mobile museum, we will also Thursday from 10 to 4 be giving tours for this. We have partnered with some schools in the county, and also for Thursday and Friday from 10 to 4. If any schools that want to be partnered with us, please contact us on our Facebook website, and so you can get a tour also. It is something that is great, something, a history, something that you can be proud of, and something that we can stand on.
Are the tours open to the public if somebody wants to, if one of our viewers wants to see it, or is it only for school children?
It is open for the public. but we do have times for our school children that come through. But it is open from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, those 3 days.
Well, that sounds amazing. You were also telling me on Sunday there's going to be a church service.
Yes,
with some local churches.
Yes. One of the things about history, Emancipation Celebration can't have history without church and putting God first. And so we have a wonderful, wonderful singing group that is a combined group of churches that will be singing, great preaching from Pastor McCarter. He is from Corinth Baptist Church right there outside of Oak Hill, Ohio. So we will have a great day, great fellowship, and hearing what the Word of God has spoken to us that day.
Well, that sounds awesome. I mean, it doesn't get better when you have good entertainment and good food. It sounds like there's going to be really good food.
Yes, good food.
So if you're looking for really good food, not your standard fare, it sounds like there's going to be barbecue and Southern and kind of home style food, which I absolutely love. I could live on hush puppies and barbecue.
Okay.
That's just my jam. Fried food, I am there. Chicken and waffles, I am there. And to have local entertainment as well as the component of history. Sounds like there's going to be some family activities that are available, so that if you want to bring the kids, there's going to be some sports activities, bounce houses. We all love bounce houses. I mean,
games,
let's be real.
flag football. We will have people teaching about soccer and events that our youth are getting into. So like I said, it'll be a fun-filled day. Come out and enjoy. Bring your children, bring your lawn chairs if you have. We do have chairs, but bring your lawn chairs and just enjoy the day of a fun-filled history of not only Gallia County, but American history.
Yeah, this deserves to not be the well-kept secret. This deserves to be on the Ohio Festival's list of places that you definitely want to go. And like I said, I mean, it's a great weekend. If you were planning on coming down, if you're outside the area, if you're planning on coming down for Apple Festival and or Mothman, I mean, it's just a natural kind of progression. And it's the same weekend, so you can kind of work it all together and get a little bit of everything.
And also, it's a straight shot.
It is. Or if you're down in Point Pleasant and you're working your way backwards, you can totally do that too.
Yeah, you can't miss it on 35. Everything's on 35.
I know. You just start here in Jackson, where we film, and end up in Point Pleasant, where we have radio stations down there too. Radio stations in the middle near Rio as well. So yes. So if you're within our listening or viewing area, you definitely want to make it to our neck of the woods of Ohio. Definitely that weekend. I mean, it seems like everything is going to be that weekend. Gosh, what was I going to say? I was going to say something to you.
Our event is every third Saturday of September.
Okay.
So that is not hard to remember. Every third Saturday of September is our event. So every third weekend of September, come on down to Gallia County and support and have great fun with the Gallia County Emancipation Celebration.
I mean, I'm blown away. I mean, you came into the studio and we were talking before the show, and I had no idea. I mean, to set the bar, I mean, I have only been here for a year, but I am so excited about this event. I mean, it's unique.
Very unique.
It's unique, and it's special to our area, and it really celebrates the history of our nation and of Gallia County and the surrounding area, which is, I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I know about our Welsh heritage. I had no idea that this was going on as well. So
162 years it's been going on.
I know, that is just crazy. That is just crazy. I'm sorry. You said that you've been part of the board that puts this together for, was it 10 years, 15 years? I can't remember.
I've been part of this Emancipation really active the last 10 years. The last 3 years, I have been the president of Gallia County Emancipation. I have a wonderful staff. Secretary Stephanie Scott, she's a professor at University of Rio Grande. Great note taker, great secretary for us. Karen Sprague, she's with the Gallia County Courthouse Grants. and she is our treasurer, and also my vice president, Bev Jackson, who's helped out tremendously. And we also have our chaplain, Reverend Armstrong, that has us in prayer all the time. So I have a great staff that has been putting this on the last 3 years. We've partnered with the University of Rio Grande the last 3 years, and it has been a blessing to reach that university and tell them about the history of the Gallatin County Emancipation Celebration and the 1863 of what Abraham Lincoln done. You know, we don't want to lose history, so we must keep telling this story over and over again.
Yes, and celebrate it and record it for posterity so that the next generation can celebrate it as well. Are there other sponsors for the event that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yes, I'd like to give a shout out to University of Rio Grande, President Ryan Smith and his staff, Annette Ward, who is great to work with there. Also want to State Farm. I know I'm going to miss some sponsors, so I don't want to go down that route with all the sponsors, but we have a good support group of sponsorship that has came along the way to help us put this event on. And we're glad for our sponsors and all the banks that have contributed. And Coyote Creek Power Plant has contributed as a local sponsor. So we're thankful for each and every sponsor that has contributed to that. We do have a booklet that we put out with their logo in it. So as you see that booklet and grab a booklet, they are free, and support our local businesses that are in that book. And it gives a history of the emancipation and the speakers and the programs.
Well, that sounds awesome. Like I said, I'm very excited about this. Is there anything else you'd like to share?
I just want to let everybody know about the Gallatin County Emancipation. No longer let it be a best-kept secret of Gallatin County, that we can get out there and tell each and every one about this Gallatin County Emancipation Celebration. What a wonderful weekend you can have.
And there's the flyer, and Liv posted the link in our comments to their Facebook, so you can check it out, see some of the photos from past events, and get information on the event in total and about your group. If somebody wanted to get involved with your group, could they reach out to you that way too, or is there a different way you'd like to?
Yes, you could reach out that way. We have someone watching the Facebook page that gets information to our staff, and we would love to, if you want to join, be a member of this Gallatin County Emancipation Celebration. We accept, take the application, just give a little history about yourself, and we have our meetings every second Thursday at Mount Carmel Baptist Church, and we'd love to have you. Well, the more is better. I
would think so. And putting together an event of this size and having to live up to 161 events that came prior to you, yes. I would think it takes a village. It doesn't take 5 people on a board by any means. It takes a village to go out and find all the resources and all of the speakers and stuff and secure the venue and all of those things that go into putting on an event of any size.
Yes.
5 people can't do it. So if you're interested in getting involved, be sure to reach out to them on their Facebook page, and I'm sure they would be happy to help you. It sounds like they're doing good work in the community year-round in that they're providing scholarships for local students. Marlon was telling me that they're giving out 4 scholarships this year, and all to local students. A couple of the students are staying pursuing their education at Rio, but some have pursued their education elsewhere at other colleges around the country. So they're investing in the future of our kids, yes, and in the future of our area, which is always important and always to be grateful for. So make sure that you go and check them out. Link is in the comments, and once again, it is the 20th and 21st of September.
Correct.
At the University of Rio Grande, and it is the 162nd yes. Emancipation Proclamation Celebration. So 3 very big words to get out. Can't say that one. That one would be a really hard tongue twister. We should probably, that would be a good blooper for me of trying to do it as a tongue twister. But it sounds like an amazing event. I am so glad that you were able to stop in today and share it with us.
I'm glad to be here to meet the media, Total Media, and you. Been a great great experience.
Awesome. Well, you are welcome back anytime to come back and share with us about what your group is doing. Hopefully we'll see you before next year.
All right.
But even for next year, for the 163rd, we expect to see you back to tell us the lineup of amazingness that is going to be taking place. So thank you, Marlon. Thank you for joining us. And we are going to have a couple words from our sponsors, and then we will be right back.
From breaking news to heartwarming stories, the Telegram is your ticket to the latest buzz in town.
Read your daily dose of local headlines, sports, and entertainment and more, in hand and on paper.
Get a print and digital subscription for only $7.95 per month. Delivered fresh every Wednesday and Saturday.
Visit thetelegramnews.com or call 740-286-3023 today.
Don't just read the news, be a part of it.
Hi, everybody. We are back, and I am joined by Liv. And if you aren't acquainted with Liv, because she hasn't been on screen for a hot minute, Liv has been running the show with Adrienne behind the scenes for the last couple of months. She's been scheduling our guests. She finds guests from all over the place that are just interesting and fun. And so if you're enjoying the guests that we have, you can thank Liv, because she has taken over the scheduling for me, which is awesome. And also, if you have any suggestions of topics or guests that you'd like to see on the show, you can reach out to us on our Facebook. You can just message us through Facebook. And she will pursue them and try to figure out how to get them on the show, or we'll do the research to figure out how we are going to talk about it on the show. So she's got some great ideas. We've got some cool stuff coming up. But today, we are going to be talking about
weird news.
Weird news. I'm a fan of the weird.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we talked about it last week. I mean, like, if it's a giant thing, like a giant rocking chair, I am going to stop.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a given. And in a couple weeks, I'm going to Kentucky, and we're going to Louisville. So, of course, I'm going to the Louisville Slugger Museum, because there's a giant bat outside. Not a bat like this, like we have in our backyards, but a giant bat. And yes, I know, it is football season. Starts tonight for us here at Total Media. Yeah. In Jackson, it doesn't start until Saturday. But Total Media Sports is covering 18 games over the next 3 days. So it's been crazy town around here about football. I was actually telling our last guest, Marlon, we are not just covering high school football this year, and we're covering like 260 games or something like that. Yeah. We've added Rio football, because Rio has football again. And we are covering them on WKOV, so you'll be able to listen on Mix 96 to Rio football if you're not able to make it. We are covering Hawking College football, so you'll be able to watch the live stream of Hawking College. We, of course, cover Ohio University and the Bobcats. Our radio station out in Athens is the flagship station for the Bobcats. And we cover Ohio State football. Yeah. So we are your local source for Ohio State football. And we cover the Bengals. So all in total, we are covering probably close to 400 games, I'm going to guess, as a company, and that is just crazy. But if you want to know what games we're covering, go to Total Media Sports on Facebook, and there's a listing of all of the games that we're covering, not just this week for week one of high school football, but going forward all the way to hopefully to the Super Bowl. I don't know if they'll make it to the Super Bowl. I don't know.
I hope so. I love the Bengals.
Yeah, go Bengals. I don't know if we'll make it that far, but hopefully we see Ohio State go back to back. Yeah. That'll be amazing. So, it's pretty football crazy around here right now. I mean, you can only imagine. We've got Dan, and Pete out of here. There's a lot going on. So if you're looking for high school football, Wellston, Oak Hill, and Vinton all play tomorrow night, Friday, and then Saturday is Little Miami and Jackson, which you can listen to on WKOV.
Yep.
So, weird news. Sorry, went off topic. Baseball bat. Shocker, I went off topic. So, weird news. What do you have for us?
So the first one I want to talk about is, you know how we recently had like the milk spill and the banana spill?
Yes.
Well, in Pennsylvania, they had the worst spill. They had a truckload full of hot dogs.
It was a wiener spill.
Yeah.
It was a wow.
And yeah, it was on the interstate. And so it like both sides of the interstate were shut down for a little bit.
Yeah,
But
can
they
you
had to clean
imagine
it
you're
up.
driving by and it's just like Wienerville?
Yeah.
It's, I mean, you know, I don't know if you've ever driven down the highway and seen the Oscar Mayer wiener, the giant Oscar Mayer wiener, which, you know, you're just like, okay, because you don't expect to see a giant wiener going down
Yeah.
the freeway. It's just a given. And it's pretty cool when you do see it. And if you catch them, a lot of times they have weenie whistles, fun fact,
Yeah.
and they'll give you a little weenie whistle. That's fun. But can you imagine you're driving down the highway and you're like, you see the little red line on your GPS, you're like, oh my gosh, there's a slowdown. And then when you finally get up there and you realize it's hot dogs.
Well, that happened to me with the banana spill that we had.
We were out of town for the banana spill.
I was heading to
saw
my
it.
other job up in Chillicothe, and
We saw it on the Telegram. We saw Jeremiah's coverage of
Yeah.
it, and we're just like, oh my. And then we're thinking bananas. Like, seriously, a load of bananas? Where are they coming from? Like, we don't grow bananas anywhere between here and anywhere. I don't
Yeah.
know. So, like, where did they even come from? I don't know. I mean, they had to have been imported, obviously, from, I'm assuming,
Yeah.
up through the Gulf or something,
Yeah,
and they
it has to
came
be.
up. I mean, bananas have to get somewhere, but where were they going? Like, I mean, it's not like they were headed to Kroger, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it was a whole truckload of them.
It was.
So, I mean, seriously, they had to have been going to be processed somewhere, and I'm thinking,
yeah, I don't-
I couldn't understand where they were going. Adrian, do you know?
I don't know where, but if it was Kroger or somewhere like that, they have trucks that have like their logos on it, and it was just a normal truck.
It was just
Yeah.
a
It
truck.
was just a truck.
It was just a truck. And the crazy thing about the milk is I did not realize, I mean, in thinking about it, you kind of like, oh, okay, maybe, that it was a hazmat spill.
I wouldn't have thought that either.
Milk. Milk. I like the most like innocuous thing you think. It's like, you know, like milk toast. It's, you know, it's innocuous, right? It's just milk,
caught me off
right?
guard. Yeah.
But apparently when you spill that much of it, and I told
Yeah.
somebody about it, and they're like, well, it is body fluid. And I'm like, ew, can we just not? Can we,
Yeah.
can we just not? It's, yeah, it's like when the 4-H kids come in and talk about like their milk tasting. Whenever they talk about it, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, I get the cringies. Oh. So weenie spill. So what else do you have for us?
I think you'll like this one.
Okay.
In San Francisco, there was a dog surfing competition.
Oh my gosh, that is like the cutest. Oh my gosh, that is like the cutest thing ever. Oh my gosh. I love the doggles. I love
Right.
the doggles. Oh my gosh, I call them doggles. I did not intend that. Oh my gosh, Adrian is completely cracking up. Okay, they probably are called doggles, but that was completely unintentional. Completely unintentional. I was at Walmart. I don't know, like a couple weeks ago or so, and I was walking down the aisle. I think it was the Walmart here in Jackson. But I was walking down the aisle and I had to take a double take. I doubled back to see because down one of the aisles there was a dog. It was like a small dog, and it was wearing little dog Crocs, which always like make me giggle. Period. I think that they're really cool. If you have a dog that's walking on hot pavement, it is a really good solution for your dog because
I want to get them for my dog.
yeah, because if you can't touch, here's PSA, if you can't touch the pavement and not pull your hand back, okay, your dog should not be walking on that pavement because it will burn their sensitive pads on their feet, and if they get infected and stuff, you don't want to go there. So yeah, if your dog is walking outside a lot on pavement or on paved trails or anything like that, you want to make sure that their feet are covered. So you can buy different kinds of shoes, but the Crocs in particular always make me giggle. And they're always like really bright colors. They're crazy, like lime green or bright orange. This dog in particular happened to be wearing like bright orange Crocs, okay? But it didn't stop there because he was wearing goggles. He had like the goggles you saw up there. It was like ski goggles on the dog inside the Walmart. And I'm thinking, okay, I don't get that, but it really made me take a double take. I'm like texting Eric to tell him, oh my gosh, you would not believe this. I just saw a little dog wearing dog goggles. And he's like, okay, that's, great, wonderful. But it made me giggle. So if you are out there and it was your dog, just know that you brought joy into my life at the Walmart, because not my favorite place, honestly, to be. I'm sure I was buying something stupid like dog food or something. But this dog it just brought me joy. I think they were like in like one of the craft aisles or the greeting card aisle or something like that. Because I was just like walking down and they were just hanging out. Like, cool. But yeah, I took a double take on that one. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love that. Eric and I took the dogs. We took 3 of the dogs, 3 of the 5, to the dog swim the other day at Hillcrest Pool. We have never done that before. That was so much fun. Jen told me to take the dogs, and I didn't think we could manage 5 dogs. We can't manage 5 dogs, period, but let alone 5 dogs at the pool. Yeah. But, and we didn't know how they would react because they don't spend a lot of time with dogs outside of their pack. So we didn't know if they would be antisocial or introverted or aggressive. So we were really kind of worried about that. But no, it was exactly like Jen described. They kind of took, a survey of the land and saw what was going on. They walked the perimeter, I think, to try to figure out if they could get out and go for a little adventure. But, and then they found their little clique and they made friends. It was literally like watching the kids at the park when they were little, like kind of survey it, kind of like what's going on here, and then go find your people. Yeah. So the dogs totally went and found not just their dogs, but they also found their people, because I also didn't dawn on me that there would be people in the pool too. That was like a shocker to me. I did not go with the intention of going in the pool, but there were people swimming with the dogs. So it was pretty cool. So we thought, at the California house, we have a pool. My dogs hate water. Absolutely hated the pool. Would not get in the pool, wanted nothing to do with the pool. Every dog we've ever had, including labs, did not want water, except for the husky would get in the Baja steps. So it's just like about that high or so of water. And he would splash around and he thought it was great, but he would never go swimming. We get to Ohio, the same dogs, like if they find a lake, they are like in the lake. So I'm like, oh my gosh, they must want to go swimming. So we took them to the pool, expecting them to just jump in the water and go for a little swim. No, not interested at all. Nope. My Baja Step dog played a little bit in the splash pad. That was it. Just kind of walked through the splash pad. And the other husky, wanted nothing to do with the water, specifically like avoided the water. And then Spock, which, once again, if anybody would like to adopt my dog, he's not really my dog. He's a great dog. Everybody loved him at the dog swim. We'll post a photo of Spock. I am actually looking to rehome Spock, but only to a good home. So if you know somebody who wants a smallish dog, it's a good dog. He wants a little bit more attention than we can really give him, and so he would really do well in either a no dog home or a couple of dogs. He gets along with all people and all dogs. It's not that he doesn't get along with other dogs. Actually gets along with cats too. He's my only dog that gets along with cats. He's probably honestly the best behaved of all of my dogs, but we just have a lot because we've got 5. And the history of Spock. His first name was Spot. Then we named him Spock. The history of Spock was that one of my sons adopted him from in front of a dispensary, which, if you're a rescue, I'm just saying, they don't always make the best impulse decisions. So my son rescued him from this association, right? And got home and realized, wait, I live in an apartment with cats. I can't have a dog. But he'd already adopted him, so it's not like he could like take him back. I mean, they weren't going to take him back. I told him to try, and so he decided to gift him to his older brother. And that worked for a while, and then we moved to Ohio, and so he became part of our pack, and Justin finally has moved out on his own, and he's living up in Columbus, and he tried to take the dog up there, but he really needs a little bit more attention, and Justin's just not home. So he's kind of bored. He doesn't have his doggy friends, and Justin's not there, and so he was getting a little depressed, and so Spock has returned. Just like my children always move out and return, the Spock has moved out and returned. But anyways, Spock had a great time at the doggy swim. He would not jump in the pool, but you know, if you've been to Hillcrest, they have that little ledge that runs around that has like the filter. Oh my gosh, he loved that. He was like running around the perimeter of the pool on it because he's not very big. And so people were cracking up about that as well. So, but he is a good dog. And we had a lot of fun at the dog swim. I mean, it was like shout out to the dog warden and the people that put that on, Ashley from Hillcrest Pool and stuff. We posted it on our personal Facebook with pictures, and our friends that don't live in the Jackson area, they're like, oh my gosh, I wish our pool did that, because it was really fun, and the dogs had a great time. It wasn't overly crowded. We were afraid there would be like a ton of dogs there, but there was probably maybe 40 dogs or so. I think when we were there. So yeah, once again, shout out to the dog warden. They're actually in, it might be next week. Yes. I don't know. I think she might be coming in next week.
It's Monday.
Eric and I were joking. They had some of their adoptable dogs running around the and enjoying the dog swim, and they were all wearing collars that said "Adopt Me." And I kept saying, if I take that one off that dog and put it on Spock, do you think they would notice? And they just take Spock back. But I wouldn't do that. I'm not just surrendering the dog. I would never ever do that. Spock will have a happy life, whether it's at our house or at somebody else's house. But or hopefully my child moves to some place where he can have two dogs. I don't know. Or a dog and a cat. I don't know. At the moment,
I could have a dog at my house.
At the moment, I'm trying to get him to take a cat. His cat, which also he left behind. Actually, he left 3 cats behind at different points of his life. So yes, I'm trying to get him to take at least 1 cat back with him, because cats are a little bit lower maintenance. They don't get quite as depressed when they're by themselves or with only one friend.
Yeah,
so
the dog warden will be on Monday.
Awesome! That's so exciting. Jen should be back. Jen loves when the dogs are here, so I hope she's back on Monday. If not, I'll be playing with puppers. I mean, I'm not sure I've ever met a pupper that I didn't love.
Same.
Yeah, even ones that snap at me and stuff like that. I'm just like, oh, it's just in your nature.
Yeah.
I get kind of snappy too. I kind of get it.
Same.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, wow, this is a little too people-y. I'm good. So, yeah.
I felt that.
But yeah, no, it was fun. So if you didn't go to the dog swim this year, I would definitely suggest it for next year, whether you have a dog or not. I mean, seriously, you can just go sit there and just laugh at these dogs that were...
Jersey hates water, and when she lived with me in Kentucky, like at one point I had to pick her up and just carry her over a puddle because she wouldn't go around it. So, my 60-pound dog.
Well, Moody, the first thing he found was the biggest mud puddle that he could find. So, of course, the floofiest dog that is the nightmare to wash. Yeah, instantly into the mud puddle. I mean, it was like he could like sniff it out. So, but no, they had a really good time, and then they slept for I think 24 hours straight. Every time I walked out there, they were like totally snoozing. So yeah, it took a lot out of them. So, but it was a lot of fun. So we went from wieners to weenie dogs. I don't know. So.
Yeah.
Fun. It's always fun. You never know what you're going to get. If I'm sitting at this desk, honestly, you just never know what you're going to get. So lucky us. So we are going to have a word from our sponsor, and then our good friend Pete Wilson is in the house to share with us some news from Jackson and Vinton counties. So stick around.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
Welcome back, and we are here with our good friend Pete Wilson, the purveyor of our regional news. So what do you have for us today, Pete?
Okay, well, Cheryl, we have an update from the village of MacArthur about the situation up there. We reported yesterday that the Vinton County Prosecutor's Office had reported on an indictment against the former utility clerk for the village of MacArthur. Several charges, including theft in office, against her. Didn't know a whole lot of details there. Some more details have emerged thanks to a release from the Ohio State Auditor's Office, which actually did the investigation since it involved finances. So here is the new information, and we do have this posted already on the telegramnews.com. The suspect is 71-year-old Kathy Stoughton. She was the utility clerk in MacArthur, the village of MacArthur, for a period from, let's see, she was clerk from January 2004 to July 2025, more than 21 years that she was the clerk. The period that is being investigated that has resulted in charges was from January 2021 to April 2024. I'm guessing that when an investigation started, there were allegations. She ended up resigning in July of that year after the investigation was starting. Now, word is coming out on what the investigators have found. Still not a lot of specific information. The allegation against Kathy Stoughton is that she did not deposit all the utility payments that were coming in to the village. MacArthur, it's a small village, about 1,500 people. Nobody else was involved in this other than her. But an investigation was started when, quote, discrepancies, unquote, were noticed. The Special Investigations Unit of the Auditor of State was involved. The discrepancies were uncovered during a financial audit. All the governmental entities get audited by the state either every year or every other year, and discrepancies turned up. And so she ended up being indicted for 1 count of theft in office, that's a felony, 4 felony counts of tampering with records, and a misdemeanor count of soliciting improper compensation. So once again, she was solely responsible for preparing utility bills, collecting utility bills, posting them, and then depositing the utility payments. The investigations unit determined that she failed to deposit at least portions of utility payments over that 3+ year period. So we'll be certainly following that story. Okay, well, let's do a good news story now from Vinton County. And I know you're somewhat familiar with this, managing the Main Street TV, and that is the mural project that is going on there. Some really good news. They got some major donations that are coming in. We reported on one, and we'll be reporting on another. I hopefully in the next edition. That cake is still in the oven. But the 2 donations that came in to the mural project, and to preface it, the mural project is going to be a mural of the first female sheriff in the state of Ohio. Happened to be from Vinton County. Her name was Maud Collins. She became sheriff in a tragic situation after her husband, Fletcher Collins, was killed in the line of duty.
Oh my gosh.
And she
How far back was that?
This was 1925.
Oh, wow.
And now remember, this is just 5 years after women got the right to vote.
That is crazy.
And here is Vinton County officials, or the state, not sure how that worked back then, appointing her to be sheriff. She was then elected on her own right in 1926 to either an unexpired term or the remainder of the term. But anyway, they are going to paint a mural on the west side of the courthouse, which is the side of the courthouse if you're coming up State Route 93 it's most visible, probably. And that mural will probably be painted starting mid to late September. But it's going to cost some money, and they're getting donations. Amanda Boring, I know, was here talking about that. And the two donations, a $6,000 donation from the Vinton County National Bank.
Okay.
We have a couple pictures there to validate what I'm saying. And a $5,000 donation from the Austin Powder Plant, the Austin Powder Company, which has the Red Diamond plant in Vinton County.
Yes.
The two gentlemen there from the MacArthur Bank. That was Tim Oyer, who is the Vinton County National Bank president, and Chris Wakefield is in that picture right there. He is the manager of the big Red Diamond plant in Zaleski in Vinton County. Of course, pictured there with a smiling Amanda Boring. The latest that she says is that they need they need a total of $20,000, and they're at $12,500 now.
Okay.
So they're more than halfway there. You don't have to donate $5,000 to support this, but when somebody donates that much, you want to give them the recognition. If you want to make a donation, very simple. You could just go to the Discover Vinton County office there on Market Street, or you can make a contribution in cash at the Vinton County Auditor's Office, because that's where it's going to end up anyway, because the Department of Tourism is part of county government. So good news there for the mural project. It's going to go forward anyway, but now they don't have to worry about paying for it or pushing too hard for money. Still need more money, but they are on track.
Amanda's going to be in next week to talk in detail about the mural project, and I know that Red met with the artist.
Yes.
As well. He was letting me know that he had met with the artist.
Right.
So,
I believe.
pretty exciting.
I saw on Facebook where she is down in Ripley, which is another small town on the river near Cincinnati, doing a mural there, and she is much acclaimed. So it should be beautiful.
Well, we love to see public art come to our area. It definitely livens up the streets and just makes it pretty.
Right. And Maud Collins just wasn't a placeholder. It's documented that she solved a murder even when she was in office there, and it wasn't too long ago that the Vinton County Historical and Genealogical Society did a memorial tribute at her grave in Hamden. So good news coming with that mural. It will be much anticipated, I'm sure. Speaking of anticipation, this September, they always do this on the third Sunday in September. The Vinton County Pilots and Boosters Association is going to put on the Vinton County Air Show. Now, Cheryl, I know you haven't been here that long, but the Vinton County Air Show, in one of the smallest counties in Ohio, is celebrated and proclaimed to be the biggest air show in Ohio that is free. And free is kind of in quotes. No admission for a person, $10 for each vehicle that comes in. But if you pile them in there, it's a great deal. But the date for that is going to be Sunday, September the 21st.
Well, you know what, Pete? We were just talking about there is so much going on that weekend. If you're coming to the area, there's yet another thing that you can come and enjoy. We were talking about that it's Apple Festival weekend. It's Mothman weekend down in Point Pleasant. Right in the middle, I don't know if you know, but it's the 162nd Emancipation Proclamation Celebration of Gallia County. And so it's all in the region. So you could actually come and go to the air show as well. I mean, if you're coming to the area, you have so many choices. In our tiny little spot on the map, you have so many choices.
Right, and the air show, of course, it's a nice attraction. All sorts of aerial maneuvers and like that, parachutists, skydivers, maneuvers in the air of trained pilots and so forth. They have the band there playing. They have some entertainment. The MacArthur Eagles come up, and some people go for the food as much as anything else. They have barbecue chicken there. They're experts at that. And as I say, it's very affordable. It's going to be, once again, on Sunday, September the 21st. We are receiving some installments of publicity to kind of whet your appetite for that. We hope to have another article in Saturday's paper on that. But we thank Nick Rupert of the Pilots and Boosters Association for what he does. In addition to the fun and a nice service to the community, this is a very important fundraiser for the Pilots and Boosters Association. It's a county-owned airport, but the Pilots and Boosters Association is a support group that kind of operates the airport.
Okay.
On an agreement with the county because they're pilots and they know what the airport needs. And once again, as it often is, few people do a lot of the work. So
of course.
They are always looking for volunteers. So if you can volunteer, get a hold of the Pilots and Boosters Association and Nick Rupert, and they'll find something that you can do to help it make it easier on everybody else.
Takes a village.
Exactly. All right. Speaking of the dog swim, got a couple pictures to show you from that. I've covered that before, and it is fun. Jeremiah Shaver, I sent him over, and he got some pictures of the doggies in the water. It is so fun.
It is.
As you said, there's one going down the slide
gosh.
there.
Yeah, ours wanted. Yeah, no, ours weren't doing that.
Yeah. No, most of the dogs enjoy getting in the water.
Yeah.
There are some that almost are forced to go in the water because their owners have brought them and they're trying to encourage them and whatever. And then, of course, the interaction among the dogs is interesting, too.
It is. It's like a whole social experiment to watch them.
But they always do that. The explanation is they've been doing it for a number of years now. They always do it at the end of the pool season. The pool actually closed the weekend before because, a lot of young people go to the pools, and when school starts, you're not going to get much attendance anyway. So before they, empty the pool, let the dogs have their day.
I was telling Liv that that wasn't something that we had in California. And so our California friends are like, oh my gosh, I wish we did that here. But part of it is the pools in California, a lot of them don't get drained.
Oh, that's right, because they're going all year round.
Or they go a little bit longer. They'll go actually because it's still so warm, so it'll go even into when school starts.
Well, that would be
a
reason when you don't have a dog swim in California because the pools are a good more longer.
A lot of them stay open, but we thought the dogs would go swimming and they just didn't want to go swimming. And Eric was like, I think I'm going to push one in. I'm like, you're not pushing one in. Like, somebody's going to yell at you. Please don't push them in.
Well, it's a new experience for them. They've never been around water. You know, think what it would be like for us if we had never been around water and say, hey, do you know how to swim? Do you think you'd probably be a little unsure about it?
Yes. We have made sure that all of our dogs can swim. And they've proven it at every local lake that they can possibly find, including the one in our yard. But they, for whatever reason, my dogs are not interested in swimming pools. They really only like lakes, and they weren't a fan of the ocean.
That's
they weren't a fan of the ocean either. Like, they wanted nothing to do with the ocean. But lakes, for whatever reason, I guess just like a giant puddle.
I think I've heard that some dogs on the ocean they don't know what to make of the waves, the tides coming in.
Probably.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll switch to sports now. Up at Vinton County, Adrian, look for the scoreboard picture if you would. They are celebrating this new scoreboard. The fields at Vinton County for baseball and softball are fairly new, so they're kind of being developed. They just, over the summer, picked up this new scoreboard for the baseball and softball field up in Vinton County, and they're very proud of that. They got business donations to be able to do that. So when the baseball and softball season rolls around, they will have this digital scoreboard there to enhance the spectator experience. And, of course, the participants will appreciate that as well.
Yeah, it looks nice.
It is very nice. With the maroon, of course, maroon and white for the Vikings.
Go Vikes.
Exactly. A couple of things this weekend to look forward to. You talked about all the activities that are coming up. The American Legion Riders Post 476 of Langsville, and that is actually close to Wilkesville. It's almost considered a Wilkesville American Legion post. They're going to have their annual Ride for Our Veterans, is what they call it. It's this Saturday. It's not just for veterans. It's to support veterans. It's going to be at the post there on Legion Road, which is just outside of Vinton County in Meigs County. Registration at 10 a.m. The kickstands go up at 11. The cost is only $20 for riders, $15 if there's for each passenger. Food raffles and prizes will be available. All types of bikes and Jeeps are open. They often throw Jeeps into these motorcycle rides because so many people have Jeeps.
Yes.
So for more information, you can go online to the post 4761 Legion Riders at gmail.com. Or contact any Legion member to get information. Proceeds will support the post and what they do for veterans. Another thing going on this weekend is the Judge Mark T. Music
Yes.
Overdose Awareness Memorial Run.
Yes.
It's going to be this Saturday. They're going to do it in Wellston. And this is the second year for it. The late Judge Mark Music got it going last year, and now they've named it in his honor, of
Yes.
course, since he passed this last May. But it's to raise awareness for the drug addiction problem in our area, the number of drug overdoses.
Yes.
It's much higher than people know because it's kind of hard to quantify. Sometimes there's a death and it's not documented as a drug overdose, but that's probably what it was, or drugs contributed to somebody's death. And Judge Mark Music was always thinking not just about dispensing justice, but about helping people that are troubled, especially if their crimes and their problems are rooted in drug use. So
I've heard that he was like a proponent of, like clean yourself up and get a second chance.
he always wanted to
type of
give you
thing.
a second. The
Or
second
third
chance was automatic.
Yeah, or third or fourth,
But any
but
time that you were ready to try to straighten up your act, he would try to help you do that. He went definitely above and beyond in that category. One of the greatest men that I've ever known. But we lost him, but the people in the court are carrying on some of his traditions, including this run. They want the public to participate. It's going to be over in Wellston, start and ending at the depot in downtown Wellston. The starting point will be at, registration is at 7:30. The race will begin at 8 a.m. The cost is $30 per person. After the race, I know there'll be some competition. There always is a competition angle to it. But it's also about participation and awareness as well. There will be a balloon launch afterward to honor those, to memorialize those who have lost their battle to addiction, and probably also recognition of the people now who are struggling with that, trying to recover. And there will be some light refreshments provided. And Judge Music, if he could be looking down on what's going on, I know that nothing would please him more than to have a high participation for that overdose awareness memorial run. And we told you about this yesterday, but we'll remind you, mosquito spraying in the city of Wellston tonight by the Ohio Pest Control. Doesn't say exactly where they'll be spraying, but probably different places, especially in areas that are susceptible to the mosquitoes, low-lying areas along the water and so forth. Looks like we're going to have good weather, so it'll happen. Anyone with respiratory problems should consider closing their windows and shutting off any window, unit air conditioners until the fog has dissipated. If you do have respiratory problems, probably be a good thing to stay away from that truck that's spraying the mosquito, that's trying to kill the mosquitoes. Tomorrow, of course, and then Saturday, we'll have all the start of high school football. We'll get into that a little bit more in our news report tomorrow. But that's another big thing.
It is.
That grabs a lot of attention around here.
We were talking about it. I mean, seriously, as a company, we are covering a rough number, probably close to 400 games total between high school, college, and professional football.
Right, exactly.
It's crazy. So.
It is a tremendous growth, and we're trying to do everything we can to give a good product to the fans out there, and
100%.
Whether it's a radio, streaming, or newspaper.
Of course, and our stations will be out at all 3 games, because there's 3 games, because Oak Hill and Wellston are playing each other. Mm-hmm. So we have 3 local games this weekend, tomorrow, and then Jackson on Saturday, which of course Pete knows.
We will be there. I always wonder why on that long walk up to the press box, which is at the top of the bleachers for this huge high school stadium, they add 10 steps every year. I know they do. So I'm prepared for that.
You gotta get your.
I don't need a cane yet, but I'll be prepared.
You have to start working out in July to get ready for August.
Yeah, I already have. But we will be there. Wouldn't miss it for the world. One of the things I enjoy the most.
Awesome. So it's going to be an exciting 10 weeks. This is week 1, and we've got at least 10 weeks ahead of us. Hopefully more.
Yep.
Hopefully
playoffs.
we go 11, 12, 13 weeks.
If teams have a decent season, they may have a chance to play on.
Yes, that'll be exciting.
Right.
So, lots of stuff coming up this weekend, and it's a wonderful Thursday out there. So it looked beautiful when I came in. I'm hoping that the rest of the day stays that way.
I looked on the phone, and it changes all the time. You can't trust it, but didn't see any rain in sight for the next week or so.
Awesome.
Crazy.
That'll be great. It's
That'll make up for what we had before, right?
It is absolutely beautiful out there. Make sure that you get out. If you are out, it is warm, so please stay hydrated and stay in the shade. It is warm out there, so check on your animals and your neighbors. Make sure everybody is healthy and having fun and being safe. So that is it for today, Pete. It's been a Thursday, and we will be back here tomorrow. And it'll either be Jen or it'll be I. It'll be a surprise. So, but hopefully it's Jen and she's back with us. So we will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.